So good afternoon, good morning, good night. Here's the thing. These last two videos are important in a way that, one, without the understanding, without the mind of Christ given to you, this can be observed. You can see it. You can see the numbers change, and you can see the patterns change. But the understanding of it and what they mean, it's still going to be dark to you, because this is something beyond the type of let's just put, for lack of a better term, thinking that people do in this existence we find ourselves. All right, because you are shown pictures like this space hoax nonsense, all these stories, all this stuff, and what I'm showing you today, this is just a projection of waves to you, and you see it as an image, and then you will assign, through the words that you read here and then down here, you will ascribe your own false witness to this story. Now, they might tell you one thing or another. All right, I won't even get into it. But what your mind puts in front of you is really born from this environment, the light that you became part of, that you became one with. And it's important to understand the idea of becoming, the idea of going from 7, the Zion, the mind, into the 8. And the 8 is the understanding. You can think of it as the two balls, the idea of giving something life, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? You gave it life. You put the balls on the stick, you gave it life, and thus your mind is the cage for this idea, this so-called reality. And through the population out there, all the people that you come in contact with, if they've seen the same source material that you did for these lies, then they also are participating in that creation. All right. Now, this is a creation. I'm going to try and use my words to where you guys understand. This is a creation. This is a grouping of words put together in what people call paragraphs, and those that jump into the minutia of this type of understanding, they will get tied into punctuation and all this other gibberish. All right. What you're looking for is the wave. Is what is this? When this hits you, it's just like going to the beach and standing and letting the ocean hit you. When this hits you, how much power does it have? See, I walk above this water, right? Through the mind of Christ, you are given that understanding that you just walk above it. You stand up and you walk above it, right? Don't get nervous. Don't get scared. Don't be Peter. Don't sink below the waves of this nonsense. And yesterday you understood something. I read a comment, or I heard somebody say something. Yes, I understand that that's not true, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day, for some reason, they're right back into this existence. So it is the understanding of the dog returning to its vomit. All right. So then you look through this story, all right, very simply. And let me do one thing real quick. I'm sorry, I had to drink something. So if you just look at this, and this is what I've been telling you from the beginning, if you understand the 7 code, and simply meaning that's covered, well, let me show you where that's going to be covered. All the way back here. Okay, this is where you need to start, the mind computer. This is it right here. This is it. Just go there and check it out. So anyways, you'll know what I'm talking about if you've already been there. So you have that 7 code. So that's the Zion. That's the mind. That is the light that is created between your temples right here. Between your temples. That's the left and right side. Your temples. They're called temples for a reason. Because what you believe, you place between those temples, and then you worship it by giving it time and energy, and you also witness to it. And this is what I'm talking about, and this is very important. If you were to say something wrong here, you could change the tone of this whole conversation. You can change the tone of a room. You can change the tone of a county, a state, or a country by the words you choose to use to describe something. For example, right? Just right off of here, let's see what it says here. All right, just understand this. Just look at those two words. Now, in the understanding of today, you would say, okay, that means something big, let's say. But look at the two words. What do they actually mean? Just take this one, for example, sheer, to see through. So if you see through the chaos, then you understand this is all just a blank. You understand, and you know what, and you know what, right? All right, so that's really what I wanted to say. And that's how this, if you go back to simply this, part 1, part 2, and then, man, if you understand that, man, this is really where you need to be. Of course, with the mind of Christ, which is given freely, all this will come because you have returned to God naked. You said, okay, I don't know any of this stuff. Okay, I obviously can't look at this stuff. I know it's not real, but I just can't, how do I understand how it's being produced? All right. And that's when you pray for that. You ask for that. And of course, once that ego is dropped, once you admit to the fact that you know nothing, you will be handed everything without measure. All right? So cheers. Have a great night.